3-valve amps, Supro, Cornell and Vox, and 2 guitars, a Tele and a Les Paul, to the soundproof rehearsal rooms in Glasgow, Pirate Studios. Today is all about the Vox, but in maybe a week's time I'll upload the video comparing the tones from the Supro, Cornell and the Vox, which was really fun to do. As you know, I spend most of my time at bedroom volume. So what a different beast that is when you crank it, my goodness. I didn't take any pedal boards, so it's just guitar, lead, amp, simple as. To avoid you getting bored, I will constantly rotate between Telecaster and Gibson throughout the clips. Let's go from clean to furious and back again. And so let's start with some clean tones. I'm talking seriously loud. Ear protection, you can see I'm wearing that in the vid. This is louder than I would ever have played in my band in a pub gig scenario. So let's hear loud cleans from both the Tele and the Gibson. So at this point, I'm delighted to hear that the amp does in fact have some bottom end, because in the house there's a real lack of that, whereas the Cornell just thumps you with this gorgeous big velvety bottom end. Same with the Marshall, to be honest, and the Supro is all about the bass. The Supro's a very bassy amp, but this is the complete opposite, and Vox has it all at the top end. And you could dial around in the house with the EQs and get a bigger bottom end. But yeah, at this point I'm delighted to hear that the amp is pushing bottom end, but it's like everybody says, it's very controllable and very tight. It's not Fender-like. It doesn't thump you in the chest. It's just very tight, very controlled, and projects well, like everybody says a Vox should. But let's face it, that's not my territory. I'm bluesy, crunch, overdriven tone. So now let's go into more of that kind of thing. Five. 6.5. 8.5. So at this point I was downright relieved, because I was worried that I knew I bought the Vox and it wasn't the most intelligent choice for your only bedroom amp. Let's face it, it's famous for blowing windows out of buildings. It's just hugely loud. But it's so damn pretty. I could almost, in fact, I could completely justify it just sitting in the corner and looking pretty. and I'll call you when I want Stratocaster and clean tones, but for just now, just shut up and stay in the corner. I was happy to live like that, but oh, what a relief to hear it actually has a great lead tone. Again, the bottom end is shelved, it's definitely tight, but yeah, really, really nice. So I'm very relieved at this point that the Vox doesn't just sit in the corner and look pretty. I'll fiddle about with the EQ and get it to how I like it for overdriven tones in the bedroom, but just knowing that, a bit like driving a V12 car, I've never driven one, but it must be nice knowing that if you want to, you can blast into the stratosphere. So let's get on with the Telecaster at high volume overdriven tones. Is it just me, or is there a particular match between the Telecaster and the Vox, more so than the Les Paul? I've heard it said more than once that Vox amplification was conceived, designed and built around a Telecaster. The guy played a Telecaster that was doing all that. And I'm starting to think maybe there's truth in the stereotype that Les Pauls go through Marshalls and Fender single coils go through Voxes. I don't know. But I'm really liking the Telecaster through the Vox. There's all it's alive, it's shimmering, it's got bite, it's got everything. I love it. Let's take the ear protection off now and bring it down from crazy stupid loud down to what I would call small pub gig level. And here's my sound gigging sound with the Les Paul. Neck pickup. So what did you think? I personally am delighted with the sound, particularly with the Telecaster. Although that last bit with the Les Paul there, without the ear protection, there was moments there the Les Paul sounded lovely, really authentic and woody sounding and boxy, because Voxes are boxy sounding. But I loved the tone of the Les Paul in the last clip. But yeah, the Telecaster is where it's at, I think, through the Vox. Loving it. Again, I'm not sponsored by Vox. I had to pay this with my own money. But if you want an amp that could, easily gig of any size and yet still sound shimmery and nice in a bedroom scenario, then great. If you want to play like I do in bedroom tones, you might have to add a bit extra bass and take some of the top off to compensate for the fact that this amp does work best when it's blasting. But oh boy, does it work. Easy to carry to the rehearsal rooms, no issue with that, with the one speaker, not nearly as heavy as Voxes of old. And even if I don't play it as much as the other two, boy oh boy does it look pretty sitting in the corner. Anyway, I've babbled enough. Catch you maybe next week for a really interesting comparison, again at huge volume, between the three amps. Bye for now.